The main purpose of your resume is to get that initial call or email from the recruiter, and you need to optimize your resume for that. Like many people think that in your resume you write your stuff or you introduce yourself, you somehow accentuate your skills. Yeah, those are important things, but I think those are secondary things. And today I'm going to talk about like building your own resume reviewer with Google Cloud Studio in minutes. Let's get started. So I am Geshan, as introduced. I am currently the technical lead at Safewell. I've been a Google developer expert GD for Google Cloud Platform since 2019. Docker captain since 2024. Anyone who has used Docker or any container technology here? At least someone, a couple of people, that's good. I'm good with that. I recently became a AWS community builder as well, and I blog at geshan.com.lp since 2007. So you can do your math. And just a disclaimer, I'm not an AI engineer. If you want to connect with me, that's my LinkedIn profile. If you want to scan it, I think I might have that QR later as well. Let's get started. I'm like originally from Kathmandu, Nepal, the country that is pumping billions of dollars to the Australian economy with all the students flowing in. I guess that's the case here in Darwin as well. So let's get into what we're going to do today. We'll first start with why do we actually need a resume. I see that we have a smaller crowd, but I think it's good that what this will do is all of you will be able to get the thing completed. And if you need help, Amrit is here, so he can help you. And like Dipesh is also here. So if you get stuck somewhere, just raise your hand, ask for help, and then there will be people who can help you. I'll be talking a bit about the hiring funnel. I think that is something that a lot of people miss when they apply for jobs. And then I'll reveal some golden rules for your resume. After that, we'll go into the Google AI Studio part and actually do the workshop, try to build a full-on resume reviewer with help of AI, of course. So AI in terms of building the product, as well as AI which is part of the product, because you would put your job description and your resume and then let AI give you like a score, and then also just like suggestions on how you can make your resume better. It's not really a demo, it's a workshop, so you will essentially do it with me while I do it. Okay, I saw the hand, like many people showed their hand when Rosie basically asked if you have not heard back from like you sent your resume and you didn't really hear back. With that in context, what do you think is the primary purpose of your resume? So you're searching for a job. What do you think is the primary purpose? Is it to tell about yourself? Like raise your hand if you think it's to tell about yourself. Or yeah, go ahead.
To demonstrate that you know what the job is, and competency, reading and writing competency, just to see how it's laid out.
Okay. Yeah, good. Anyone else? Get the interview. Right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the interview.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
The main point of a resume is to get that initial email or that recruiter call, because that is what the resume is for. You send a one-page or two-page thingy, you describe what you do and or other things. But the CTA there, the call to action there is, does it convert? In my head, the conversion is if you get that initial call or that email from the recruiter saying, hey, when can I call you? Or can you fill this form up? Or can you do X so that you go forward in the application process? I think that is the most important, the primary purpose of your resume. Then there are secondary things, of course, like there are things like informing about your technical skills, other skills, your experiences. Yeah? Those are essentially part of the resume, but still like a bit into the secondary part, of course, and then you can tell more about yourself and what you can do for the organization. But the point here is a resume, the main call to action is whoever is reading it, which generally is a recruiter at first, because that's the first audience of your resume. only after that it passes to a technical audience, because if you send a resume, rarely it will be reaching an engineering manager or a technical lead. So that is what you need to think, that the CTA, the call to action for a resume, is to get that initial email or that call. Yeah. The other way that you need to think of your resume as is it is a sales pitch, right? Like you're trying to sell your skills, your services. So try to think of it as one, and then tailor your resume to the right audience. It should not be too focused on the non-technical audience, which is the tech recruiter, as well as it should not be too focused with just the technical parts. If you make it too technical, the non-technical person who's the recruiter does not understand it. If you make it very non-technical, then it doesn't add value to the engineering manager or the technical lead who's gonna have a look at it later. So there was a research done by, I think, a company called Ladders, and it essentially concluded that on an average, a recruiter sees your resume for 7.4 seconds. Right? So you need to basically sell your skills and shit, like sell what you can do in under 8 seconds average. Because for, I don't know, a big company like Canva or Atlassian, like they're looking at hundreds of resumes a day. So they will not be going through all the 150 words or 200 words that you're gonna write in the resume, right? That's where you have to be very strategic on how you write it, how much space you use. Don't waste your space, but write the things that needs to be there. Point being, yeah, and then, like an average recruiter would look at your resume for like 7-8 seconds, so you have to be able to sell your skills within that time. I think this is one part. This is another part many people miss the detail. So as I said, like your resume is good till here, right? It's actually getting the initial call. It does help here and here as well when it reaches a technical audience. So a lot of people apply. If there's an ATS something, many people are already filtered from there. Then I don't know, X% of the resume is applied actually goes in front of a human eye, which is definitely a recruiter. And then from there, then it's also filtered, and then it goes to an engineering manager or a technical lead. And then depending on the company, you would either get technical challenge or an interview. It could be do a sync coding challenge together, or a take-home kind of a challenge. Then there is a behavioral interview, technical interview, and then only after all of that, there is generally a check for references, and then you get an offer, right? So these are like 4 or 5 steps depending on the company. They could go up and down. Depending on the company, you could have 2 technical interviews. I know of a company who actually calls you in-house in their office and then keeps you almost the whole day for like a technical interview part, a system design interview part, and blah, blah, blah. Depends upon how they do it, but of course there are multiple layers on, like, depending on the type and the size of the company. Yeah, I think like the thing that people miss is resume basically helps with the offer part, but it can't really help you with your behavioral interview. It can't really help much with your technical interview. It basically opens the gate. Now after that, which door to open and how to open is up to you. Like resume gives you a chance to show your skills, and that's what you need to think of. Like your resume doesn't really help you within the interview. Practicing for an interview is a kind of a process on itself. This is a quote from someone who used to work at Harrison AI. Pam used to work at Harrison AI, and then yeah, she basically pointed out that you need to go a little above and beyond what you do. Show that you do some self-study, or you're writing blogs, or have a passion project. It's not that like very linear. You just do your job, and then that helps you, and you just write whatever it is in the resume, and then it works. Like recruiters are also humans, and they also look at resume from a different angle. They see like if you're doing extra things, especially in this age of AI. I think these kinds of things are going to help. So there are like 2 or 3 golden rules I would say for a resume. The first one being keep it one page. I mean, unless you have 5, 7, 10 years of experience, flat keep it one page. Like, and then the simple answer to the why is remember the 7 or 8 second rule, right? If you're a recent graduate, or juniors, or middle software engineer, and your resume is 5 pages, there's an issue. Because the primary audience, who is the technical recruiter, is not going to even go probably to the 2nd or 3rd page, right? So you have to be very strategic with that. Delete ruthlessly. Yeah, whatever is not relevant, whatever is not needed, remove it. Don't think about it 3 times. I don't know. There's no point trying to put like, your hobbies that don't really make sense. Of course, you can mention that, for instance, your hobby is photography, but you don't need to write 2 paragraphs about photography in your resume, right? So, like, think of it. Someone is looking at your, sorry, not someone, the first person, the primary audience is looking at your resume for 8 to 10 seconds. How best can you sell your skills or sell your skills so that you get the initial call or the email, right? Last but not least, add numbers. If you don't know the XYZ formula, have a read at it. Basically, it says you did X, it resulted in Y, and then because of that. So that's where the other thing that I generally tell people is, if you have a job, if you had done a job and then you were writing the JD or the things that you did in the job, follow a simple rule of 60-40. By that I mean, if you have 5 bullet points, 3 bullet points can be XYZ formula. I did this and this happened. For instance, deployed a service that reduced customer churn by 5%, right? That could be an example of XYZ formula. But if you just write those things for all 5 points, you might be perceived boastful. Therefore, if you have 5 points, 3 of them could be XYZ formula and 2 of them could be BAU, like business as usual. I just did this kind of thing. Then it balances it out. Another important, or another backdoor, if I could use that word, is find someone internal. Yeah, don't cold apply. For instance, if you wanna, I don't know, again the same example, if you wanna get into Canva or I don't know other big companies, which would even allow working remote and you could work from here, like Darwin, would be try to find someone who's internal, because just a general rule of thumb is if someone internal applies, you essentially have a 50% more chance of getting that first interview rather than cold applying. Because cold applying, you are competing with tens or hundreds of other people, right? Whereas as soon as someone internal applies you, the chance of the resume getting in front of a human eye easily becomes a lot more. Yeah, so if you can find someone internal, it could be a friend, it could be another software engineer, and if they happen to refer you, that makes your chance of getting the initial call. Or basically, anyone referring you can get you till the interview. You have to prove your mettle, you have to prove your skills at the interview. But that is another hard part these days, that your resume may or may not reach to a human eye. Yeah, the other thing is, like, make a list of companies that you want to go, or think of an area where you want to work. For instance, it could be a bank, it could be fintech, it could be, I don't know, whatever. So if you have that, then you can make a list of 5 or 6 companies that you actually want to work for, and then you can apply for it. The point here is, spray and pray is very hard to work. You can spray your resume all over and then pray if someone contacts you. Rather that, like, make it a very thoughtful, surgical approach. You select those 4 or 5 companies. You learn the skills that they ask for in their job vacancies. You also tailor your resume with AI, with or without AI, and then you actually target, right? From there, you have a very good chance. You could potentially go find people that work there and get yourself referred. That is a much better, higher conversion rate compared to, I see 50 jobs, I'm just gonna blindly apply for them, and then hopefully someone will come back to me. That is hard, and it's even harder in this scenario, as if you have listened to the news in the past 2 or 3 weeks, months, the companies are laying off hundreds of people, so the landscape is changing. The same thing, and then in the landscape, AI is changing everything, even job search. How you look for jobs, how you find companies, how you use a resume or edited resume. AI is essentially changing that. I recently was just, for this particular talk, I was doing some research, and I found like a cloud skill that actually goes in and looks for companies that you ask it for. There was a lot of other stuff. I haven't really sit down and tried it. I'd probably try it, but people have built stuff like that, and what we are going to build today is going to be kind of a small part of it. But these kinds of things are already happening. People are really leveraging AI and AI agents for the whole job search process. So we're going to build our stuff today in Google AI Studio. There is a feature called build. I'll just go there. What we are going to do is we are going to generate I'm using the word generate because none of us are going to write the code by hand, so it's essentially vibe coding, right? We're going to generate a resume reviewer, and then, yeah, it's called deploy publish. It's basically going to publish it to Cloud Run. This is where you'll need the credits that you have got from that QR code. If you don't have the credit, you can scan it there as well. And if you just build the resume reviewer and just try it with the preview, you don't really need the credits. If you don't want like a full-on running URL for it, it's called the publish part. But yeah, we are essentially going to do the whole thing. And if you deploy it or publish it to Cloud Run, then it gets a public URL which you can share with your friends and family, and they can also try what you have done. Yeah. If you have not got the $5 credit, this is the chance to get it. I assume all of you have it. Then I think we can slowly go to the workshop. As all of you have a laptop, you can go to that particular URL or just scan this on your phone and get that URL somehow on your machine, or type this on your browser, bit.ly/rr-gws, which is much easier to type, which will take you to the resume content that I'm going to go through. What we're going to do there is use Google AI Studio and then generate a resume reviewer with a prompt. That URL has the prompt, and then we'll get an app, and that app we're going to deploy to Google Cloud Run. So that is what we are going to do. I have built another similar thing. It's a Gemini gem. So if you're using the Gemini app, you could use the gem as well. But if you have the access to the slides, which was some slides back, you can try it. Else, you can get started with the workshop. All good till now? Any questions before I start with the workshop? I take the silence as a no. All good. Let's get started. So this is the introduction and everything. I am also going to just do it side by side. I'm going to have a look at here and try to do it. And this is where you need to go. Either do ai.dev. I think ai.dev also takes you to Google AI Studio as far as I remember. Yes, ai.dev, or search for Google AI Studio or type aistudio.google.com. Basically, you need to reach here. This is the page that you should be going to start with. Is everyone here? Anyone who's not here? If you need help, just raise your hand. Amrita, someone will be able to help you. It'll be very hard to do it on the phone, but yeah, if you want to give it a go. But anyhow, like as soon as you can reach here, you can do it. You can go back and like do it at your home. You just need the $5 credit. It's gonna last. So I have done all the step-by-step thing here with the screenshots, so it's pretty easy. If you just want to do it later as well, it's possible. Yeah, so this is what we are going to build. We're not going to upload a file or anything, just to make things simpler. We're just going to copy-paste stuff. This is the final product. You're going to paste your resume here. You're going to paste your job description here, and then click analyze, and then it's going to analyze and give you some analysis, like a score on your resume for that particular job description. Yeah. In terms of prerequisites, you need a Google account and or a GCP thing you're running, a Chrome browser with Google AI Studio, and your cloud credits applied, which I think all of you have already got. Let's get started then. Yeah, I'll try to go on as much as I remember, and then I'll come back and look at this thing. So you can click build, and for that you will need the prompt to actually do it. Is everyone here on the build page? I would take that as a yes. And once you are at the build page, the thing that you are gonna do is apply the prompt. Well, actually, yes, before that you need to select the correct model and the framework. So you are here. Once you are here, Google AI Studio recently added Next.js, so you can build full stack apps. We're not going to build a full stack app. We're only going to build a front-end app. By the way, how many of you identify yourselves as software engineers or write code in some kind? 1, 2, 3, 4, half of the audience. Okay, so then I just explain it to you. Like a front-end application is only that runs on the browser, doesn't need to rely on any servers or a database. That's a front-end only application. As soon as it has anything on the server, then it has a backend component, and with the backend component, it can also connect to a database. I'm oversimplifying it, but to make this workshop simpler, what I'm going to do is I'm not going on the backend part. What you're going to build is only going to be a front-end application, which is essentially only going to run on the browser. Yeah. So there is no authentication. Nothing is being saved. Let's put it that way for now, without overcomplicating stuff. So here you should choose the default Gemini 3 Flash model. Other models are a bit more expensive and the outputs might be better if you go for a Pro or something, but for now, with the $5 you have, this is a sure shot it's going to work. I think it will work for the other models as well, but let's start with that. For the framework, don't use Next.js, just use React. And that should be it. I don't have a mic, so that's fine. You can actually speak your prompt as well, but we're not going to do that. Now, once we have done this is the main part. Copy the prompt that's here, the whole thingy. Yeah, and then paste it here on your Google AI Studio. Yeah, it will look something like this. I got the whole prompt. Yes, looks like I've got the whole prompt. From there, you should select the AI part, which is Add Gemini Intelligence. Yeah? Yes. So here, down here, you should see Add Gemini Intelligence. Now, because the resume reviewer itself is going to be somewhat intelligent, so what we're doing here is we are using AI to build the application, and the application is also going to have the AI features. So your resume reviewer is going to use Gemini internally to review your resume and the given job description. So it's a twofold thing. It's a double use of AI. AI to generate the app, as well as the generated app is going to have the AI feature, which is going to review your resume. Yeah? So that's what's happening. I'm not going to go through all the prompt, but yeah, you can have a quick read at it. It basically says analyze your resume, and these are the general things that you need to do. You need to think of the technical recruiter, which is the first audience of your resume, who is a non-technical person, and then it should also appeal to the technical person, who would be an engineering manager or a technical leader. Keep yourself in the position of the resume receiver. So yeah, it adds all of this, and then there are a couple of things that it adds technically as well. Technically, name the application as a resume reviewer, make it orange color. Why I'm doing this? Because if you don't add all of this, each one of you potentially get a completely different output, because LLMs are non-deterministic, right? So depending on the input, if you don't give it proper guidelines, it's just going to go wherever it wants, and then someone of you might have a green resume reviewer, someone will have a gray resume reviewer. So I'm just like asking it to make it in an orange theme color, so that hopefully most of the resume reviewers generated today are going to look similar. Yeah, and then while you are doing your stuff, say things like parsing objectives, blah blah blah, and then show a percentage score against 100. I think I should have mentioned XYZ somewhere here. Yeah, XYZ formula here. For the people who don't know the XYZ, let's just do that. Yeah, I accomplished this measured by Y doing Z. This is essentially an XYZ formula. I think this one has some good examples. This one is, so that I can kind of give you an example. I don't think I will find anything meaningful. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good example of an XYZ formula. Significantly reduce business cost and increase profit as measured by a 50% reduction in food cost by reviewing purchase. Yeah, so essentially if you have 5 bullet points, make sure 3 of them are XYZ formula so that it looks good. Coming back to the point, let me take these 2 off. So I essentially pasted the prompt, which should look like this, and I selected Add Gemini Intelligence. Now I'm going to say build. This is surely going to take a minute or 2 because it's going to do lots of stuff. Your code is going to be here, and the app that has been made till now is going to be here. Is it going to ask for any more permissions? No. This will take a bit of time, and then it's going to generate the whole resume reviewer following what you have asked it to do in the prompt. In the meanwhile, if you have questions, I can answer. Like even if you have general questions on job search, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, then let's wait for it to tick. Let me see if I missed anything. No. Then it will generate an app like this. The first time, or the time when I tried it while making the screenshot, it took like 2 minutes. So let's see how long it takes now. What? Where is it? Geshan CDN? I have no idea. While it's happening, you can actually look at the code, by the way. Right now, it just generated a metadata or .json file. But yeah, it's going to add more of its things. Yeah, it says thinking. I don't know how it actually thinks. I don't know if a model would actually think, but it supposedly says it's thinking. Anyways, it's adding stuff. It's executing some shell command, which I don't know, and I don't need to worry about. I guess we'll see more files coming up here. Well, as this is going to take some time and you guys are not asking me questions, I can show you something else. I can make better use of that time. Yeah, this 120 seconds and it did nothing. Wow, 120 seconds and it just did a metadata. That's the point that I was trying to make, because LLMs are non-deterministic. So because it worked the last time at 144 seconds, it doesn't mean it's going to work this time as well at 144 seconds. But yeah, let's see. It's doing something. While that is happening, what I wanted to show you was the resume reviewer gem. This is kind of a similar prompt, maybe a bit different. But yeah, if you go to there, it's also going to do a similar thingy. I mean, if you don't want to build the whole thing for your own and then just utilize Gemini, possible. So yeah, here is a similar thing. It can help you with the thing. But yeah, let's try to build something on your own. Now, if you look at it, like what it's doing is it's actually creating another prompt that is adhering to what you said. And yeah, this is what it's going to do. It's going to use Gemini 3 Flash internally. As I said, we are using AI to do 2 things. 1, to build the application, and 2, the application that is built is going to have an AI feature, which is going to take your resume and the job description, and it's going to analyze, right? So this is actually the part 2 of it, where the app also has the AI feature to do it. And that's where we selected the Add Gemini Intelligence. I mean, it would have automatically picked it up in my head, but yeah, we essentially said, please do this. Because with the new Google AI, not the new features added probably a month or so back, you can now generate full stack applications where you could have, for instance, Firebase authentication, and then you could use a Google account to authenticate and then only access the app. So you can do all of these things now. And then you can also save data to a Firebase Firestore database. So that has become possible. While this is happening for more than 240 seconds, I have blogged about it. That's not my blog. And I can do some self-promotion. Why not? Because you're not asking me anything. So here, this is how you can do. You can add Firebase and the login. Same thing. You have a prompt. but you make sure that it's Next.js, a full stack app, and then same. I just wanted to generate like a simple login page, and what I actually want to show here is, yeah, it generates this, and you click it, and then you can just log in with your Google account. So if you want to add it to this app as well, you can try it, but try it later on. And then it can actually give you a profile page as well. Yeah, so this can also be done. And this is a very recent thing on Google AI Studio. And what happens is it actually saves the data, and then you can actually see the data. So if you want like all of your resume review to be saved to a Firestore database, it shouldn't be that difficult to do. Okay, coming back to the thing, I don't know what it built. It's slow. I don't know, it's pretty slow today. Because at least in my example, it was just 144 seconds, like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Did it get built for anyone? Is it just going? It's actually built, it's just me. It doesn't like me. It doesn't like me today. We have at least one person where it is built. Is it orange in color?
Yes.
Does it have those two parts?
Exact same thing, yeah.
Thank you. My prompt works.
Probably.
You have to be a AI agent orchestrator these days. Prompt engineer is so 2024. Okay, I don't know why this doesn't like me. Now, if it doesn't like me, then I'll just go back to something that I've already generated, just to save our time. Okay, now let's see what happens after this. Yeah, as I wrote it took over 2 minutes for me, but today is not the day. It's taking more than, I don't know how long now. 5 minutes. 6:36. Yeah, more than 5 minutes actually. Very good job, Gemini. Oh, looks like it's pretty close. Or it's done, almost done. Yeah, okay, done. So the point being, this is the code. Yeah, and if you look at it, probably, oh my god, I don't know what this did. I don't know why it has so many objects. Yeah, okay, not my problem. Yeah, I think this would be the interesting file, as I said. You can look at the prompt that it generated from the prompt that we gave, and then it wants us to do stuff like this. Anyways, the point here is we can go to preview mode, make it why do I have this? I don't know, I don't really know. So, orange looks good, generated to 5 minutes or something today, much slower for me than you guys, I don't know what happened. Yeah, you can switch to code mode and then look at the prompt and stuff if you like. You can actually even send it to GitHub if you want. I think it's publish. Publish actually does the. You can share it with someone else at your own risk. You can share it with the email address, or actually make it public as well if you like. I'm not going to do that. I'm just showing you. Yeah, you can push it to GitHub if you are a software engineer and you know what GitHub is and how to work it. Like, you can push the whole code to GitHub and then use it somewhere else if you want. I'm also not going to go into that. I'm just going to go into publish. So before I do that, let's test it out. I'm going to go to publish at this point. Full screen, your resume here, and then the job description here. All good. Let me try. So this is a sample front-end engineer resume, and this is a sample job description from Lorikit. Lorikit AI is essentially built by ex-Googlers. They want to automate customer support, I think so. Yeah, they want us to support, like automate customer support. Let me have a look. That's their website as far as I know. No? Yeah, this one is the website. So yeah, I randomly took like a job description and then some random resume to test it out. I want to show you something about Lorikit if they still have that job description, or actually I can show it here. If you have a look at this, was it Lorikit or was it someone else? Forgot. Let me see if the thing loads. For now, this is the resume. I mean, you can try your own, but I just want like a quick test. This is someone in Australia who has worked at some place called Kothar, yeah, Kothar it was agency. He's a software engineer, I know him, but yeah, I've removed all of his PII. And then I want the job description. This is like a software engineer job description, as far as I remember. I think this is a front-end engineer job description, but I don't remember all of it in my head right now. Come on, they changed their website. No, I've copied it. I want to show you something here. It's going to be fun. If they still have a software engineer role, come on. Yep. Software engineer. Yes. Yeah, this is the one. This is the thing that I wanted to show you. Yeah, I have never seen this in any other website. So they actually like ask you to come in and work for 2 days as trial, probably paid. I think a paid 2-day trial, and then they select. Then they decide if they want to give you the job or not. I have not seen this in any. That's just something that I want to show you. Yeah.
Even the first thing that they say, come on ChatGPT.
Yeah, I mean they have a very different, peculiar and unique hiring process. Basically, that's something that I just wanted to highlight. Anyways, I think it's a similar job opportunity from them. It's a software engineer job. Yeah, and there's a resume over here. I'm going to paste it here. So I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I pasted the resume here, only the text, not the file. Now, if you want to use the file, you can change the prompt to say I have an uploaded file and blah blah. I just wanted to make it simpler to get this stuff done, get the job done first. Yeah. Then I have the resume here and the job description here. Both of them are here. I just use these ones, right? From there, I'm going to do analyze resume. If it says analyze resume or something else, it's going to take some time because it's going to call Gemini. It's going to send both of that text and then all the prompt that we saw, right? It's going to do all of that sauce, that magic. And this is what I already told it to do while you are working. Show me these texts. This is also part of the prompt. Maybe change it a bit, and voila, you have a supposedly detailed analysis. It says your resume is good enough. It matches 72% of the requirements of the job. Thank you. But I have suggestions for you. Okay, on the job objective summary, it's better if you wrote this, which follows XYZ formula. Yeah, so as the prompt says, it tries to review every section and then it tries to give you a suggestion for every section. Now again, given it's AI, it's non-deterministic. It's doing what it thinks is right. You are the human and you need to do the judgment. You cannot put judgment calls on an AI. Like I was doing another talk, and what I essentially said was, you cannot blame the knife for a cut on your hand. Similarly, you cannot blame AI for wrong output. Like if your answer is because ChatGPT or like Gemini said it, it's already wrong. You need to read it. You need to be accountable. And AI is not accountable. You need to be accountable. Coming back to the point, like, yeah, it's gonna say things. Maybe it's relevant, useful, or maybe it's not. Now it's for you to decide. Yeah. Same thing, like job alignment. It says it aligns your resume aligns 80% of the job, but these are the things that could be better. Yeah. I mean, everything has, if you look at the prompt, I specifically said use Australian English, blah blah blah, and I think it's gonna comment on that as well. So yeah, if it finds a A-N-A-L-Y-Z-E in place of A-N-A-L-Y-S-E, it's going to tell you that and all of that. Anyways, you can like enhance the prompt to be better. If you want, you can upload your PDF file. It should be able to extract out text from the PDF. It's going to take a bit longer, of course, because you get a file, it's going to extract out the text, and then it's going to, at the end, for a LLM, it's easier to get in text and then give you text. It has the ability to analyze images, videos, and everything, but more tokens, more cost, so, and then complicated app. For a demo, I want it to work for everyone. That's why I'm not complicating anything. Yeah? Because anyhow, for demos, you need to create the demo works first, so that everything works, and you don't want extra complications. Yeah, so this is what it is. It works, at least till this point. I think now the next part is to deploy it. before I do that, as we have quite a bit of time, I want to show you something. So if you look at the Gemini service file, this thing is called control generation or schema-based generation. So the output is also control. It's asking the LLM to give an output in a format. Yeah. And I want to see if it uses temperature and these kinds of stuff anywhere. Let me see. Actually, it's not. It's funny. Okay, if it was using temperature, I would have suggested to use a lower temperature, because temperature means the variation in the output. And for things like these, it is better to use a lower temperature, but I couldn't see the temperature being sent, to be honest. That's funny. Okay, that's good. It should actually have been here. So that means it is using the default temperature, because the last prompt that I saw, for an LLM, you can configure the parameters like temperature, top K, top P, and those things actually determine what type of output you get. I did not see it here, so I'm assuming it's just using the default value with control generation, which is it's asking the LLM to output in a proper schema, proper JSON schema, which I didn't ask for, but it built it as part of the thing. Okay. So this is working. If you want to start over, there will be a start over button or something here. Yeah. Good enough, works. Now the point is, at this point, it's only you who can use it. You can either share it and then give the access to the whole code to someone else, or you can deploy it, right? Deploy it so that it can be used by your friends or anyone else who has the URL. And this is where the GCP code and the cloud the credit comes in. Yeah, we have reached here. We did this. You did this. Yeah, it generated a bit of a different UI, but at least orange. Did anyone get a non-orange output? Everyone got an orange output. Good. Gemini is becoming much better at adhering to the prompt. I like it. Okay, now it's time to publish the app. For this. This is the point where you should create a new Google Cloud project. So you have already applied your credit to a trial billing account or something. I assume so. Yeah, you already have the $5 credit. And I'm just gonna call it resume EIEWDR Darwin, whatever. Yeah, so select the right account that has the $5 balance. I have done it multiple times, as you might have guessed, so I have somewhere around $4 to $5 in one of those accounts. You just create that for now. This is the part where you create a new Google Cloud project. If you want to get into the details, it actually uses a service called Google Cloud Run, which is essentially serverless containers. So you pay only when you get the request. If the configuration is proper, I hope the configuration is proper, we can check that as well. That essentially means even if you just give that URL to someone else and no one is using it, you are not paying it. Only when someone comes in and then uses your app, then only you are paying for the compute, and that is what Google Cloud Run does for you, right? So at this point, what we have done is we just created a new project called Resume Reviewer Darwin. It was like 12 days back when I was probably taking these screenshots when I created the old one. And now we can use this project to publish. Now the word they use is called publish, to publish the app. Yeah. So coming back to this, did I do this? Yes. This is done, all good. Now I can publish the app, and when I publish the app, I need to select or import the project. Okay, good. So works in my tests. For the preview, working, that's good. Now let's publish it so that I get a URL and I can share it with anyone I like, my friend, my family, whoever. To publish, go here, click get started. I don't want to use Resume Reviewer, I want to import the project because I've already created the project. Resume Reviewer Darwin, yes, this is what I want to import because that is the one that I just created, that is associated with the $5 credit that I redeemed just now. Anyone confused, stuck, need help? Yep. because you have not applied the $5 credit.
No, I forgot how to do it.
Can you give her a hand? All good, no problems. That's why we have people who have already done it and can help you. Anyone else has any issues? Just raise your hand. You want to go and help?
I also need help.
If you want to try it, else just call me, I can come and help. She needs help. Oh, you, sorry? No, this, you already deployed this, right? That's where it is. That's fine. We have not reached there. We'll reach there and then try to solve that. I'm trying to think if the model usage also needs some credit, but that should be fine because we're not using the part of the model. It's using the Flash model, which should be covering in the free credits that you get. Yeah. Anyone else needs help?
I have a question. We did one big prompt.
Sorry.
We did one big prompt. I'm kind of going through sections and small prompts.
Yeah.
Model can
Yeah. That's possible as well because even here, like you can again go back to chat and then, sorry, not here. You can come back here and then, yeah. The thing that I did is called a one-shot prompt. So I did the one-shot and then tried to do it. It adhered to most of the things that I said, and plus as it's a demo, I don't want to like go step by step. But yeah, at a more real life-ish kind of scenario, yeah. Here now you can ask it to add authentication, for example, other things. You can try it. Yeah, but with AI and with a completely new app, there are ways to do it. Like what you are doing is also good. It's more of a procedural approach that you give smaller chunks, add, and do more. That's also a good way to do it. Another way to do it, which has been proven better at scale, is called spec-driven development. So have you heard of AWS Kiro? So yeah, Kiro is actually based on spec-driven development. And what it is much more of like a declarative way of doing it. You write a spec as a markdown file, and then you ask the LLM to now convert this into code, kind of a thing, right? So that is There are a couple of Kiro happens to be one, and I forgot there are like a couple of formats, to be honest. SpecKit and others. There are a couple of frameworks to do that as well. But yeah, it depends on how you want to do it. Like spec first, and then the good thing with spec-driven development is you actually have like a history of what you want to do as well. So that is, sorry?
What did you say? Sorry.
With spec-driven development, because you have what you want to build as a markdown file, that can be committed with the code as well. And then you know the history of what happened, what changed in a more English format, and then with that spec you would have code generated. So that is supposedly a very scalable way of doing things at Amazon scale as well. But yeah, like the choice on what you want to do is up to you. I have found both, like for smaller demo apps, I have found like one-shot prompting to work better. But if you want to build something bigger, yeah, going incremental, smaller things is good. Yeah, so for a demo, I would like to do a bunch of things. Yeah, because I have essentially like this is probably the V8 or 10 of this prompt. I have multiple prompts trying to get this point, so I have like changed it many times before I got to this where it works in one way.
That I would like to see.
Yeah, especially for a demo, like it's better that you don't go through multiple iterations. Okay, where are we at? So everyone has, so does everyone have their Google Cloud project created? If you follow this, and if you go here and you select the right billing account where you put your $5, you should have your resume river, whatever you want to call it. I call it resume river-Darwin. So you should have that project created, right? Are we good till that stage? Good? Working? Stuck? Stuck? Okay, let me go.
Okay, so where is your resume? Here. Ah. Oh. You have to start over. Yeah. So nice. Yeah. I'm sorry, this is the resume. This is already. Okay, so this is a good example. What? Oh yeah, when it's done, it's gonna tell you that. Okay, now it's gonna fix. That's the power of if it doesn't, what you can do is you can start over. Like try that. If it works, it's fine. Else, just open Google AI Studio, click on build, give the prompt again. Hopefully.
Yeah, so the thing that I was trying to show her, which I think would be helpful to you as well, the app was running into an error, and then it had a fix button on the side. I could have either, what I did was I just clicked the fix button, and now like Gemini is trying to fix its own code because it somehow put a bug or an error in it. The other thing that I could do is that like I could go in the chat. Actually, I can show it to you here. Right? So yeah, here I could go in and say, I'm facing an error while analyzing the resume. Can you fix it? And then it's gonna try to fix it as well. At least I hope it fixes it for her. You can try that. If that doesn't work, then just start from the beginning, paste the same prompt. As I said, it is not deterministic, so it can go a bit crazy at times. Yeah? Anyone else stuck? Did your project thing work? All good? All good? All good everyone else? Give it a go. If it doesn't work, retry the prompt. You have $5. If you don't finish it here, you can go home. You have the URL. Try it again. It should work. Yeah? Okay, where was I? Now let's try to publish this and get a URL. Publish. I want another project which is called Resume Darwin. Yeah? And then, right there. Where to click something? Hey, where is that? What did I do? click import, sorry, UI. Yeah, so I'm importing the project that I created, yeah? And once I import it, it's imported successfully, then I can select it here. Yeah, the other thing good about it is you can select monthly cap. Okay, I just want to spend $1 on it. I don't want to spend more. Be it, I don't really care at this point. And then after that, I can click publish. Yeah. All of this is here as far as I remember. Yeah, I imported. Oh yeah, this is the part that I was confused. Import, and then select and publish. And yeah, if you want to select, if you want to keep a spending limit. Oh wow, actually in the example I just gave it like 25 cents. Anyways, and then after that, it's going to give you a URL, which is going to be a Cloud Run URL, as I told you. And I can show you the Cloud Run settings as well. So it's working. Let's see it's actually working or not. So resume Darwin is the project. As I said, it's a Cloud Run URL. It will be doing some magic sauce here. Not magic sauce. It's basically deploying a Cloud Run service here, which I hope it does. Yeah, it's trying to deploy something good. So yeah, what this is doing in the background is actually creating this service on your Go Cloud project. There's no magic. It's essentially just getting the code, not even putting it into a container. Whatever the source is, it's deploying it into Cloud Run. That is what that publish button is doing, and this is what it's doing, and it's worked. US West 1, yeah, that's why you get a US West 1 URL, because that's the region that it has deployed it into. Yeah? So now if I copy this, and then I paste it here. So this is a publicly accessible URL. You can give it to anyone in the world. It will work as long as we have credits in that project. And yeah, you have some Gemini. It's using Gemini as well, so it's going to use your Gemini. Wait, this is a front-end app, so I don't know exactly if it's going to use your Gemini credits or the person who is using it. Probably the person who is using it. I'm not sure. You can try to verify that, because yeah, whatever that. This is the front end on the app, so yeah, might be it's using someone else's Gemini credit because it's using Gemini as well. Same thing, now if I paste the whole thing here and here again, it's going to work. I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, point here is you publish your app, it has a URL. If I give you this URL now, it will work for you as well. If I take your URL and I put it here, it's going to work. That's the whole point. Like, you went from a prompt on a Google AI Studio, AI built you the app with AI features, AI deployed it to Cloud Run, and then now you can give it to essentially anyone in the world and they can access it. With all of this, you did not write one line of code, but you now have a working URL. And let me recheck one thing. So if I go here, I'm just trying to look at the settings of is it deployed in a way that I was thinking it was deployed. Now this is something I'm doing on the fly. I have not tried it as well. Let me see, this is the one I was looking for. What are you doing here? And CPU, I don't really care. That's fine. Oh wow, I would not have put this to 1000, but it's okay. Oh yeah, that's maximum, that's fine. Oh yeah, good. So yes, it is deploying with 0 minimum instance. That means if no one is coming to your app, you're not paying a dime. Only when people come to your app, then it's going to take some time for the container to start. It's going to have some cold start time. But the point is, unless someone does not hit this URL, you are not paying anything. And that is what I just verified with the settings. 0 means it has nothing. It would be good to set maximum instances to use your budget properly, but I'm not really concerned about this. I was concerned more about this, and that means it's not running all the time. It's running when you get a request, yeah, which is much better for your hydraulic project.
So if I had minimum number of instances to 1,
then 1 is always running.
yeah, just if one person goes to visits the website,
Yeah.
you won't have to deal with cold start.
Yes,
But all
they
the
get the response much faster, but then you pay 24 hours a day. That's the point. Now they will get the response slower, but you pay only when it's being used. That's serverless containers. Yeah? And that's what I just verified, and it does 1. Sorry, it does 0 minimum instances. So by default, it's not deployed. Only when someone hits a URL, it's going to bring up the container. That the first request is going to be slow because of the cold start, but the request later is going to be faster. And as I see the configuration, I didn't make this configuration, they did it. What Google's configuration says is it has a request timeout of 300 seconds, that's a lot, as well as one container instance can take up 1,000 requests. So even if you get 100 requests, only one container instance is going to be alive at a time.
Okay, so if I had one minimum instance, then 1,000 people would not get.
No, it's still going to be the same. It's still going to be the same. This is different from that. This is like how many requests can one instance handle before it dies out. How many concurrent requests can, so even if the point being, even if I get 100 people, even if all of you hit this particular URL right now, I am going to pay for one instance because it's going to be 20, 30 concurrent requests, which is fine because my setting there is 1,000. So even if like everyone in this hotel hits that URL right now, I think one instance will easily handle it. It's not going to be 1,000 people at the same time. It's concurrent request again, right? So you have to say like it's not going to hit. Even if 2,000 people use the website, they are not going to concurrently hit it at the same time because people are waiting. Waiting is not a request. When they click something, then it's a request. When they hit the URL, then it's a request. Yeah. So that is how you need to think. Okay, now let's go back to this. We did this, we did this, we did the publish. Everyone has a URL, I assume so? Not you? You can try it at home. It's fun, it's fine, it happens. Like I've done workshops with like hundreds of people, and if there are a lot of people, it's a bigger headache because half the people are stuck at 5 steps back. And it's good that we have less people here. I can even come to someone and help you. It's fine, you have this URL. You just scan just make sure that you have the $5 credit, just make sure that we have access to the slides, and the slides has the link to the workshop content, right? And you just click here, you go home, you do it. All of it.
We're still done. Can you show us how you created that gem?
Gem? Yeah. How did I create the gem? Okay. Wait, let me first go through this. We have 17 spheres. So this is done, this is published. I want to go through if I missed anything. Here, I did this,
If we have time.
Yeah, I think we have time. And yeah, we are there. So as I said, there are new Google AI Studio features. You can use full stack apps, you can do login. Yeah, I already did the shameless self-promotion of my own blog post where you can add Firebase login and Firebase things. You can actually use Google search data and Google Maps data. Yeah, as I said, we have time. I'll try to get to the prompt as well. Let me see if I have this, because I had this. No, yeah. Where is it? Where is it? No, come on. No, this one? No. I lost it. I actually had like a very big prompt which used the Google search data and Google Maps data to create an app like this, but it looks like wait, let me see. Maybe this. No, not this. Okay, anyways, I was gonna like show you something. So basically in my head what I can do is I can build a AI-powered app that uses Google Maps data. For instance, if I want the best Indian food where I am, I can do that. So I can craft a prompt that says, go to Google Maps, get all the Indian restaurants from where I am because it can read my location, right? And then sort it by ratings. So it's going to give a restaurant that's at 4.9 first, and then 4.8 second, and then 4.5 third, right? If I want, I just need to craft the prompt properly. And then when I come here, as this is done, so when I come here, if I say use maps data, which should be here, search data, maps data, if I use both of them or at least maps data, and given Google Maps APIs actually provides that data, which it should be in my head, I have not tried it. That's an idea just running in my head. It was running in my head and then it came back again. So as you have built like the resume reviewer, if you craft a prompt properly, you can build like a restaurant finder or a niche or a specialty food restaurant finder sorted by Google Maps ratings or Google review ratings. I think it will be pretty easy to build. I'm not going to build it now, but I'll need to craft the prompt. But the point is, I just need to craft the prompt properly, and then I can add Google search data, Google Maps data, as well as login here, and then I have a pretty sellable app. Will I sell it or not? That's a question. But yeah, I'm just throwing random ideas at this point. Yeah, you can even generate music and images if you like. Just give it a go. The good thing is like the whole Google AI Studio, the free tier basically covers most of the things that you'd want to do. You don't need to pay anything extra. You don't need to pay $20 a month. Sorry?
And everything is connected. Google has everything.
Yeah. Like because it uses Gemini and Gemini is multimodal. You can add voice conversations. You can animate images. You can generate images. You can do lots of stuff here. Yeah, I'm just scratching the surface is what I'm saying. Yeah, they even build like multiplayer games. I haven't tried this, but yeah, you could do that. The other thing that if you want to try is if you think like your design skills are not amazing, you can actually vibe design stuff now. There is an app called Google Stitch, and it's gonna essentially generate a design for you. You just need to prompt it properly. And then because it's Google product, they are connected, you can export the design to Google AI Studio. I mean, let's be honest, the one that we generated now, this one, doesn't look amazing. So if you want like to first get the design right, you can do it in Google Stitch, and then you can import the design, or even upload the design here. Upload the design here when you give the app, because you can add files here, right? So you can upload the design here, and then it's gonna basically convert that design into an app. And then if you want, you can connect anti-gravity MCP and stuff, and then change it there as well. Plus, you can, as I showed you earlier, you can put the code on GitHub as well. Okay, I will finish that and then come back to your Gemini app, because I've forgotten how I did it. I need to think as well. Okay, going back to the thing. We did it, we built it, we have a shareable app now. The top 3 things I'd like you to take away from this workshop is use GenAI tools to review your resume, to do a job search. As I said, like there is a Claude skill, there is a full-on Claude skill repository where, yeah, the guy has a company analyzer, like a resume reviewer, mock interview preparer, whatever. That's amazing. So yeah, like basically you utilize what's there, explore other LLMs and tools. As I said, Claude, it's paid, it's a bit expensive, but writes pretty nice code. Other things as well. Similarly, update your workflow. Use the right tool for the job and be open for challenges. It's changing at a breakneck pace. You have to get used to it. It's just going to be a very different landscape. As I said, like from the news I have read, or we have read, at least 1,000 people have lost their jobs in the past three months, right? And seniors are looking for roles right now, and then they would take up a mid-level role, right? So, and then junior roles are almost non-existent compared to, let's say, 3 or 4 years back. So if you are a junior, you will need to project yourself as a mid-level engineer to break into the job market. It's hard, but yeah, it's the challenge that you need to take as well. And knowing to use AI tools, or to be honest, when I was looking for a job in October essentially, I was asked some things about AI. But this year, 2026, after the chasm, after August and everything, I think there will be rarely a job interview where you will not be asked about AI or how you use AI. The landscape has changed. Just in 3 or 4 months, the landscape has changed, right? So be prepared for that. If you apply for a job and you go get interviews, be prepared. Someone's surely gonna ask you like, okay, then how are you using AI in your workflow? Like, what AI tools do you use? So it's just going to be asked to you. So be prepared for that, and be prepared on how you want to answer that. And that's it. I'm going to first ask questions. I'm going to take the questions and then also go to the gym, open to questions. Good. Thank you. Any questions?
What other uses do you use for Studio AI? Like what other things do you use on?
What do I use it for?
Yeah, for yourself, like personally, or is it just purely for work?
For work, we had a hackathon, and the AI hackathon, I use AI Studio to generate something for that. But generally, I use it for my own learning. I have not, as I said, I listed the features, but I have not also used some of the features. I have some ideas in my head. I just shared one with you, or with all of you. I have some ideas in my head, but yeah, I have not dabbled. I tried one, like a company. It should be there like that. Let me try to find it. It's called a company compare or something. Yes, I got the prompt. Yeah, I was trying to make a job seeker agent. This is what I tried, but it didn't fail miserably. It didn't go very well as well. So yeah, what I wanted was I would give it 3 companies, and then it would compare me a lot of things. This is very small, I know. Let me. Yeah, this is gonna make it better. Yeah. So yeah, what I wanted to do was I wanted it to use both Google Maps to see how far it was from my home and how long it would take on Monday morning to go with the Google Maps API. And 2, I wanted to use the Google search data here, yeah, to get things like how is the company reviewed on Glassdoor, how much score does it make, and how much does it pay, yeah, and stuff like computer analysis, who is there in the market, yeah, and then even predict if there is any future layoffs, looking at stuff like layoffs.fyi. I tried this, it didn't miserably fail, but it was sometimes doing it, sometimes not doing it. I actually have to use a better pro model to get it done. So yeah, I have done experiments like this. I found the prompt finally. Yeah, it was more like a company compare. I would give it 3 companies, and then it'll take some time, but yeah, it would like do 6 or 7 types of research with Google Ads. This is what I did like last week or something. So yeah, I think it's like the boundary, the sky's the limit. You need to think of it, and then given you can use now Google search data, Google Maps data, you can just come up with your idea and then make useful apps like these. This was a pretty useful app. Let me see if I have it. I don't know if it runs. Did I do? Yeah, job search research. Maybe this is the one. I don't know if it runs, because I tried like multiple versions of it. It failed, and yeah, I used a different prompt. So coming back to the point, yes, I use it for many experiments like this. Plus, because Google has a lot of free things. But yeah, even this I could have done it incrementally, as you said, multiple prompts. But I want to convert this into a workshop as well. Huh? Yeah. No, even this one, like this has 7 things. Like I wanted to convert this into a workshop as well, but yeah, like these are the types of experiments if I have a random idea these days, I just go in and try to see what I can get out. Probably this would have worked even a bit better with some other models like Codex or Claude. Yeah, but do I want to burn like 50,000 tokens for that? I don't know. That's the point. What was it? Yeah, this was the one that I was trying to build, to be honest. And let's see if it's there. I can show you if it works, if it loads, because this is gonna take some time. Oh, it also has a Google sign. Okay, let's try it. I don't think this will work, but let me give it a go. Oh, actually, okay. It tries to compare Atlassian, Canva, and Xero. Okay, as a software engineer in Sydney, Australia, and this is my tech stack.
Sell it to LinkedIn.
And sorry?
You could sell it to LinkedIn.
They have much better tools than these. They don't tell it to everyone. They have much better tools than this.
Did you know you could copy the URL into Studio AI?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that I built. I don't know if it works enough, but if it does, this is the prompt, and it's gonna compare those 3 companies in these things like Glassdoor, score, financials of the company, competitor analysis, pay scale from this side. Did they do any layoffs recently, and do you think they are going to do any layoffs? All of that, and then it gives me a score depending on my tech stack. If I'm a Node.js developer, there's no point applying, and if I don't want to do Java, there's no point, Java or Kotlin, there's no point for me to apply at Canva or Atlassian, because they don't really have a big Node.js, many Node.js apps running, services running there, right? They are more of a Java and Kotlin shop. So yeah, like that is what I was trying to do, and I hope this works. If this works, oh yeah, actually it does. So for my particular tech stack, and as a software engineer, it gave me 65 score against Atlassian and 90 score against Canva from its analysis. So yeah, that prompt actually did something, and it worked. Not bad. Okay. And I asked it to like incrementally add companies, so it does one by one, which is part of the prompt as well. So yeah, so for these 3 companies. Now, I mean, it doesn't just work for big companies, right? If I do Bridget, I think that was some company. I mean, it's just gonna get the data from Google search. So yeah, these are the types of experiments I'm running with Google A Studio. That's a question. But yeah, this could be another workshop. Now, if you want, I can share you the prompt. Yeah, I think it should. I think it's already there. So I don't know where do I put it so that you can get it. Let me think. Yeah. No, just give me a this. Yeah, if you try to get that, you'll get the prompt. But I'll tell you, it's not going to work out of the box. I had to use the Gemini Report 1 Pro, and I bottom I selected auth, Google search data and Google Maps data. Or I don't remember Google Maps data. With the Google search data, I surely did. So yeah, if you want to give it a go at that prompt, here you go. It's going to take you here. It's not a full-on workshop. It's just the prompt, but you know how to use the prompt now. Yeah, it's basically my thinking on what I would look at a website. That's 6 or 7 criteria. And coming back to your question, these are the types of things I do with Google Studio. Any other questions? Yes, please.
So is that
Actually, you can use the mic. Can someone get a mic?
Check working.
Yeah, that's the prompt I use for basically this guy here.
So you said about the
That's not good.
junior position that are going to be disappearing in the near future because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
impact of AI. So
Yeah.
myself, I'm a junior, so
Yeah.
how can I bridge the gap between the, you said that you have to become a senior.
I didn't say you have to become senior, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll exactly tell you the words that I told again, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
What's your question?
Yeah. I think, how do you bridge the gap between that? So, as a software engineer or,
Yeah, okay, I'll go there. So, basically, we have been building this app for 5-6 years now. So, what I said is based on data, by the way, right? Because I have the data of at least we have data of at least 70-80 companies. All of their job listings for the past 5 years. We have data of at least 65,000 jobs. Yeah. So what if I'm telling that the junior job roles have decreased or gone away, it's not intuition or I'm just not throwing words on the wall. I have actually looked at the data, and junior roles have, for instance, compared to 2022 or 2023, 25, 26, almost not there. Yeah. I can actually show you the data if you want. So, because we have been doing this for 4 or 5 years, Amrit has also contributed to this. I can actually see the data and see that junior roles have gone down, at least in the past, especially after 2023. That's point number 1. Yeah. Now, point number 2, answer to your question. Then, if there are no junior roles, how do I break into the market? Right? That's the question. Right? Actual real life example. December, we interviewed someone. The guy passed from University of Wollongong at Sifui. The guy passed from University of Wollongong in December itself. He started working in January, mid-level engineer. Yeah, but the guy was already working in Vietnam for some Australian companies. Yeah. Another example, Seyful, where I work right now. Another hire, February or March. She also passed from UTS back in December, January. It is possible, is what I'm trying to say, right? But what do you need to do? All of your public profiles need to point to saying that you are a mid-level capable engineer, number one, right? Number two, no mixed messaging. Yeah, like 2 days ago you post on LinkedIn saying I'm a full stack engineer. After 3 days you say I'm a front end engineer. After 4 days you say I'm a back end engineer. Yeah, linear messaging that points to one thing, and your profile, all of your public profiles and all of the things that you do needs to be very linearly messaged. Now, it's getting hard because even like back-end, front-end engineering roles are also getting harder. People want full stack engineers. I don't believe in the idea of full stack, but that's a very personal thing. Anyways, the point being, if you want to position yourself as a data engineer, give that strategy at least 3 months. Yeah. So all of your public profiles need to project yourself as a mid-level data engineer, right? If I come to your LinkedIn in 10 seconds, it should tell me that you are a data engineer. It should have projects listed. I don't know. SQL and Python should be your bread and butter. If you want to become a data engineer and you don't know both of these well enough, sorry, you're not going to get an interview, right? So you need to know what's the bread and butter of the thing that you want to go to, right? And I see them as swim lanes. So either it's backend, front end, data, AI, I don't know, DevOps, QA, whatever are these. I'm using the word swim lanes because you can go into that swim lane, try your luck for 3 to 4 months, strategize, apply, right? If things don't work out, then you can change the swim lane for next 3 to 4 months as well. Like the only thing that you go and bang your head against the wall is your head is going to break, the wall is not going to break. Yeah, so that's a strategy. So that's where like your LinkedIn, your GitHub, if you are a designer, maybe your other profiles, all of them need to have a consistent and cohesive message saying you are a mid-level capable engineer for that. And that's the point. Let's say if you want to project yourself as a backend engineer, you say nothing about that on your LinkedIn. If I go to your GitHub, you have 3 React projects, you already disqualified, right? That's the point. So the first part is actually the recruiter contacting you, and after that, as I showed you in the funnel, you are somehow, somewhere going to surely reach the technical interview, right? And someone like me or an engineering manager or a lead engineer or a senior engineer is going to take that interview, right? At that point, that person is going to look at your resume, and then as soon as I see a GitHub page or LinkedIn page, and if the interview is in the afternoon, in the morning, I'm surely going to check the profile at least once, right? And if the profile is giving me completely mixed messaging, I'm going to ask more of them in the interview. Yeah. Whereas if the profile is linear, it just gives the right messaging for the job you're applying for, I'm already going to have like a level of confidence while I go into the interview. Now, in terms of interviews, as we are already talking about it, probably I've taken like 70, 80 interviews in Australia till now, as a senior engineer, lead engineer, and other positions. What I've generally found is the decision of a yes or no is essentially done in the first 10-15 minutes. I rarely see someone turn the ship at 45 minutes. You know, people who have interviewed a lot, they know how much someone knows in the first 10-15 minutes. Because they have interviewed a lot, so they know the level of the person, right? So that's the point. Like, as you see here, it's like resume is at just here. Resume helps you here at this level. Yeah. Interview preparation is another thing, and that is what is listed. Where is that? This one. Hey, where did you go? Yeah. Now, if you go here, that's where I have listed all the things I have done. For instance, you can use Gemini Live Audio as an interviewer. That's also a blog post. And again, here you can use Gemini with this prompt, and it's going to ask you question as if it was an interview. This has 2 modes, interview and reviewer. So you can answer it and then ask it to go to a reviewer mode and then give you feedback about the answer. So you just need to read this and try. But yeah, if you go to Gemini Playground and use a live one, you can actually interview as a mid-level software engineer with Gemini at 2 a.m. You don't need a mock interview at 2 a.m. If you want to do that, you can do that. So yeah, like all the things related to job search, I have put it here, except for this. I don't know why, but I have a very, job search has a special place in my heart, especially coming to Australia and then looking at all the international students, it has become even more, even more important for me. So if you go to my blog and you click here, job search, there is a tag called job search, and you'll have all the things you need in terms of job search. Like the thing that I just told you, you can use Gemini as an interviewer, mock interviewer. You can use Gemini to review your resume, that's what we did. Yes, you can use Gemini to review your LinkedIn, GitHub, CV, everything at once. And that is a video and the prompt, of course. Yeah, prompt and video. You can see what I did. Maybe the UI has changed a bit, but you can use Gemini to do all of it for free. Yeah? And then I have a full-on, I have a 20-minute talk on how to, same thing, but half of the things that I did today, but yeah, how to craft your resume as a junior software engineer. So yeah, you just need to go here and then do it. The point being, do not use the word junior, do not use the word recently passed out anywhere, neither in your CV, neither in your resume. I, as someone who is hiring, I don't really care if you passed out now, if you're a junior or not. I want to know, when you come in, how long do I need to train you to become productive? That's the point I need to know as an engineering manager or a tech lead, right? So that is the way that you need to think, and then, yeah, your messaging needs to be linear. You cannot afford to miss that. Yeah. And then again, the other thing that I told you: don't spray and pray. Don't apply to hundreds and think that 5 of them will come back to you. Think of a topic that motivates you a lot. For instance, think of something that if someone comes to you at 3 a.m. and asks you about it, you are still going to answer it. What's that? And then list 5 companies who work in that domain. Try to get connections in those 5 companies and then get referrals and start a process from there. That has a higher conversion rate than 100 applications spray and pray. So that is how I would, because there are less or almost no junior engineer role, try to aim for mid-level engineers while projecting yourself I'm using the word projecting yourself as a mid-level engineer, and that is how. And I just gave you 2 examples. January someone we hired, February someone we hired, and it is possible. So that is, I think, how you should think of it. What's the time? Anyone else? 7:35. We are pretty close, I guess. Else, I'll probably take a last one and then we can close. Sounds good, Susan? Yeah, last one. Else, we're good. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I even have this, by the way. I took interviews with real recruiters on asking them what they look for a resume and stuff. I did 3 years continuously. At least I have 3 parts. 9 actual recruiters telling what they look for. The last one I did was 2022. I don't know, I didn't continue after that. But yeah, someone who works at Atlassian, yes, said they review these many profiles a day. Basically, you need to go here, and yeah, 2018 is when I came here. From there, this topic is close to my heart, and everything I have learned about this topic, probably I have blogged about it. You are closing? Oh, you guys have with the Kahoot game and stuff. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Geshan.